Yeah, just is from the Post. So Ohio State full court pressure the majority of the game. Was that something that you guys really expected, or did that kind of catch you guys off guard? Just want to talk about that a little bit.
We expected it. We worked on plays to try to get through the press. So we were ready for it. Just got a little, I don't know. Yeah, we were ready for it. Say something.
Yeah, I mean, that's Ohio State's bread and butter.
Yeah.
I think they had, what is the stat? How many steals did they have this game? Yeah, that's, 40 points. So that's their bread and butter. We fully expected it.
Eric Decker with the Athens Messenger. Kind of adding on to that, do you think the amount of turnovers you guys had was mostly because of their defense or sort of mental mistakes on your guys' part?
I think it's a mixture of both.
Yeah.
I think we could have played better offensively, and I think that they're a pretty good defensive team. They turn defense into offense. So.
Yeah.
Next one.
Curtis Vader, WAB. Obviously, 0-3 start, not ideal, but you guys got a chance to finally get a win next on Sunday. So, what are some things that you guys are looking forward to try to improve to get that first win?
Definitely just get back tomorrow and just work hard and just got to be mentally prepared.
In terms of experience, we're a pretty young team. So I think that every single game we're finding things to work on, finding ways to pull together. This is when you look at the starting lineup, it's a really new group. We haven't played together before. It's not an excuse, but it's exciting because there's a lot of ways that we can get better there.
Were there any positives you guys could find on the defensive side because you were still able to hold them to a somewhat relatively low field goal percentage on the day?
I mean, once we could get it in the half court,
Yeah.
I think I was really proud of the way we played.
I definitely think we did good in the half court defense. Got a lot of good stops.
And we learned a lot from their press.
Bobby Corbett from the Post. Yeah. Obviously a tough loss tonight. You set a new career high in points. What did it feel like what did you have working for you offensively?
Honestly, just work harder and just have a good mentality. I had a couple not bad games, but wasn't really scoring a lot. But I just wanted to be there for my teammates and step up.
So you kind of mentioned a younger team. So getting off to an 0-3 start, how does the more experienced players how do you keep the morale up, and how does that really impact
We have some amazing. They're pretty much seniors. All of our eligibility is kind of messed up. But Caitlin Kroll and Abby Garnett are two really amazing players, but they're really amazing teammates.
Very encouraging.
So, I mean, they got our back in terms of morale for sure, and it's amazing to play with them.
Alex McKay, WAB. Yeah, a couple times in the second half, especially late, you got to the free throw line. Did you eventually kind of find some seams and holes in the Senator defense?
I think she made them.
Yeah.
I think she made holes in the defense.
Yeah. I don't know. I just kept going to the right. They weren't stopping me, so I just kept going.
I mean, they tried.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more. If anyone has one? No? All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Hey, Coach. Eric Decker with the Athens Messenger. You guys end up with 33 turnovers on the night. Do you think that was more because of Ohio State's defense or just mental mistakes on your guys' part?
Their press is really good. I mean, that's about what they've been doing. They've turned people over 65 times in 2 games, now 98 in 3, so that's about average. I think we knew in order to have a chance, we needed to keep that number down, and they just proved how good they are. I mean, they're constantly around you, and they've got great hands, and they play with a great amount of effort. And I thought they were as good as advertised in that regard. we've struggled turning the ball over this year so far, so then that kind of highlighted it as well. It's certainly something that we can do better, but they were really, really good. Yes.
Eli, just with the post, so how does playing like a team with that like defensive caliber prepare you for the rest of the season and kind of build experience?
I'm a big proponent of playing good teams. I think good teams make you better. Sometimes it's tough losing. We've been on a little bit of a rough start to the season, but I think if you have the right mindset and the right approach, you can learn a heck of a lot from it. And our chance to get an at-large bid is no longer a real thing. So now you just start thinking about preparing for January and MAC games, and preparing and trying to be a better team than you were the day before. And stuff like this it's just really good because you're playing against a top 10 team that is really good at pressing, and you got to know exactly where you stand. There's no wondering, there's no guessing. You know exactly where you stand. There's video on it, and if you can take that and learn from it and be a better player, then it's worth it.
Alex McKay, WAB. You kind of just said right there, learning from your mistakes. Is there, if any, positives that you can take away from the loss?
No, a ton of positives. I mean, we did a pretty good job defensive rebounding most of the night, and that's something that we haven't done real well this year. I thought our screening action at times looked really good. I thought our driving the basketball at times looked really good. I thought our kids competed. I thought our kids tried. The turnovers, and then you combine that with the 24% from the three-point line, you're not going to beat a lot of teams with that. You certainly aren't going to beat a top 25 team with that number. But along the way, I thought we did a lot of things well. I thought we hung around. I was really hoping when we got it to 20, we could get it down into like the low teens and give ourselves a shot. But to their credit, they kind of pushed it back up to 25, and then it kind of got out of hand again. But I don't think any of it came from a lack of trying. There's a lot of kids that are still relatively young in their days here at Ohio, and they got a great opportunity to learn. And I mean, probably one of the best crowds that we've had in the last 3 years. I mean, it was on par with some of those NIT games that we played years ago. And so to get in front of that and get out there and compete and have some success, that goes a long way for your confidence, and hopefully it makes us a better team down the road. Yes.
Bobby Gorbert from the Postgame. Was it sort of a point of emphasis for Yaya to be more aggressive offensively and kind of get her own shot?
Yeah, I mean, Yaya's been trying to find her footing early here in the season. She's been battling some foul trouble the first couple games and just really had a hard time getting in any kind of rhythm. But the thing about Yaya is that she is incredibly unselfish, and she just wants to do whatever the team needs us to do, whatever we need her to do. I'm sorry. She had 4 assists. She got to the basket. I thought she handled her press pretty well. And so I think there were times where it allowed her the opportunity to get to the basket. I thought she did a great job of deciding when to go and when not to go. This was a big game. Yaya played quite a bit for us last year, but Yaya didn't play the point for us last year. We had another kid that played the point. We had 2 other kids that played the point most of the year. So moving over and taking that responsibility, I think she's done a nice job of kind of finding her niche, right? Because last year she would come in and try to score, and Erica and Cece handled the ball most of the time. And moving over to that spot, I think she's done a great job, and I think she'll continue to do a good job.
Curtis Fader, WAB. Noticed later in the game, late through the fourth quarter, you started switching things up, doing some pressing, some zone. Was there any hesitation to do that earlier in the game before things got out of hand?
Yeah, a little bit. I thought defensively we were doing okay. I thought the turnovers, you're going to look at the points in the paint, and you're going to say that you didn't do a very good job, but so many of those are from the turnovers and the runouts and things of that sort. I thought our offense put our defense in a bad spot more than our defense just wasn't very good. Obviously we gave up a couple big numbers in the second and third quarter, But again, I thought that was tied more to just not being careful with the basketball on offense than it was being poor on defense. But also, you know, you got to give yourselves a chance. You got to try some things. You got to see if maybe we could create some turnovers of our own and try to. And we, you know, they're tough to turn over. They got so many skilled guards out there. But it was worth giving it a try. And again, it gets stuff on video. And it gets stuff on video against a really good team. So you don't have to wonder, will this work down the road? If it worked today, it'll probably work the rest of the year. And that's kind of what we're looking for from a coaching standpoint.
And then just one last follow-up.
Yeah.
Caitlin Kroll took a knock at the end of the third quarter. What's her status?
She'll be fine. It was just a cramp. And I think, you know, she's done a little bit of everything for us in these first couple games. You know, she's been our leading scorer. She's been our leading rebounder. She's been our leading assist person. She's guarded the best player. She's guarded the worst player and helped. I mean, she's done so much for us. It was out of precaution. She was ready to go back in, just out of extreme precaution. There was just no reason to do that at that point. And having to turn around and play again in a couple days, you know, we're going to ask her to play 35, 40 minutes in 2 days. So, yeah, I expect her to be fully ready to go on Sunday in Indianapolis, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Anything else?
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.